What fucking country are we in? What fucking country are we in?
Branch junk government.
Okay. Would you like to make a comment?
Good evening, everybody. Mayor Pallone and City Council. My name is Jeffrey Wallstein. I live at 9 Gloria Court in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. I was born in Long Branch. I was raised just a couple minutes away in West Long Branch, and I've resided in Monmouth County my entire life. I'm here to express my concern about the flag display at the center of Pier Village. There are currently 6 Israeli flags being flown, but only 1 American flag. This is the United States of America. This is not the United States of Israel. And the prominence of foreign flags in a location built on American soil is deeply troubling to me. Now, I understand you may say Pier Village is private property and that the owners, the Kushner family, have the right to fly whatever flag they choose. But there is established legal precedent recognizing that some private spaces function as public forums, particularly when they were created through government action and serve as public gathering places. Let me remind this council and the mayor that Pier Village exists because the city of Long Branch confiscated that land through eminent domain. Now, the Fifth Amendment only allows that to occur for public use. When land is taken from citizens by the government, it carries a public trust. It should serve the community. And the symbols displayed there should reflect the United States of America, not the State of Israel. Besides functioning as a public forum, the city of Long Branch promotes Pier Village in its official tourism materials. The city of Long Branch provides Pier Village with a disproportionate amount of city resources. By my observation, roughly 80% of Long Branch's beachfront police presence is concentrated at Pier Village. That's taxpayer-funded security for a development built on seized land benefiting private foreign entities. And that's what Jared Kushner is. He's a foreign entity. He is not a real American. He has no loyalty to this city, and he has no loyalty to this nation. He is a globalist. He is a Zionist Jew who only has allegiance to one thing, the State of Israel. I consider him an unwelcome guest of our city, and as a guest, he should have to assimilate and play by our rules or leave. I ask this council right now, why is the city of Long Branch subsidizing the cost of marketing and the cost of security for Jared Kushner's private businesses? If the public is footing the bill for police and infrastructure, then the public has a legitimate say in how that public space represents our city and our country. I am asking this council to acknowledge Pier Village's quasi-public status as a land created through eminent domain, and to take a stand that our national flag should be the only flag displayed with prominence, and to ensure that the public resources are not subsidizing a space that prioritizes satanic symbolism over our own American flag. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, anyone from the public who wants to further discuss any of these comments or concerns, please call the city clerk's office at 732-571-5686 to schedule a time at the public council hours that are held the first Wednesday of every month. I need a motion to close the public participation portion of the meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
You don't respond to the public in real time?
Did,
There's no opinions or thoughts or anything about what I just said?
I
Sir,
think
that the time for public participation is closed, I'm sorry.
You just closed it. You didn't give me a chance to object.
You don't get to object, I'm sorry, you're not a member.
You guys have no accountability.
I'll now ask Madam Clerk if there were.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Wallstein. I reside in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. I grew up here in Long Branch. I spoke to this council last month and made legal arguments why the mayor and this council should take action to have the Israeli flags being flown at Pier Village removed and replaced with American flags. For those of you who are not aware, there are currently 6 Israeli flags, but only 1 American flag being flown at the center of Pier Village. I find this incredibly un-American. Last time I spoke to this council, I made arguments that even though the property is owned by the Zionist Jew Jared Kushner, it is still a public forum created through eminent domain, and the symbols and flags being flown there should reflect the United States of America and not the State of Israel. It has been over a month since I spoke to this council, and the flags are still being flown, which means this council and this Shabbos goy of a mayor has taken zero action to have flags removed. Instead, they had the Long Branch Police Department call me in a desperate attempt to try and intimidate me. But I won't be intimidated into silence. My legal arguments were ignored, so now it's time to get biblical. I'm sure you're all under the impression that the modern state of Israel is somehow connected to the Israel from the Bible. It's not. Israel, also known as Jacob, was a man, not a land and not a country. He had descendants that were known as the children of Israel or the Israelites. However, an overwhelming majority of modern-day Israelis have absolutely no ancestral connection to the Middle East or the ancient Israelites of the Bible. They are Ashkenazi Jews of European descent who can trace their ancestry back to Khazaria, what is now modern-day Ukraine. These people claim to be Jews, but are not. They are actually the synagogue of Satan, as stated in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. So if you're going to use the Bible to justify the existence of the State of Israel and to justify their genocide of the Palestinian people and other atrocities against the world, then I will use the Bible to prove the modern State of Israel is a satanic forgery created by the United Nations after the Zionist bankers started, financed, and manipulated the entire world into 2 world wars, which resulted in the deaths of millions of people, mostly non-Jews. The Rothschild family, who bankrolled the creation of the State of Israel, financed both sides of both world wars to serve their own Zionist agenda. The Bible refers to these people as children of the devil and the synagogue of Satan. You were probably under the impression that the flag of Israel displays the Star of David. In my hand is a King James Bible, and nowhere in this Bible can the phrase Star of David be found. It's not biblical. The fact is, David never had a star. The Magen David translates to the shield of David, is found nowhere in Scripture. And it doesn't state that this shield had a 6-pointed hexagram on it. The only shield I'm aware of that had a 6-pointed star on it was the shield of Rothschild. The name Rothschild is literally German for red shield. Mayor Amschel Rothschild hung a sign in the shape of a shield with a hexagram on it over his goldsmith shop. It is a symbol of the Rothschild family, not a symbol of Judaism. The only mention of a star being flown in the Bible can be found in Acts 7:43, the star of Remphan. Acts 7:43 states, "Ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon." The star of Remphan, for their god Moloch, is a hexagram. Hex is another word for curse, and the State of Israel, created by the Rothschild family through war and deceit, is a curse on the entire world. The hexagram is not an ancient symbol of Judaism. The hexagram was adopted by the Zionist movement in the late 19th century. It comes from the Rothschild family, and it is a symbol of Zionism, not a symbol of Judaism. It is an abomination to fly that flag here in America. That star represents the number of the beast, as spoken about in the book of Revelation. That star is 666 encoded. It is 6 small triangles, 6 lines, and a 6-sided polygon with 6 60-degree angles. It is literally a symbol of 666, the number of the beast. Why on God's green earth are we flying a flag with a satanic symbol that represents genocide in our city? It's because you are all ignorant and completely cucked to the Jews who have taken over Long Branch. This city is completely unrecognizable from the one I grew up in. This town has become an abomination and a complete embarrassment, all thanks to weak and ignorant leadership like you people before me. Thank you.
5 minutes.
Council President, I'd like to make a comment, if I may.
Please.
First off, sir, just so you know, the police department was concerned about your actions and your behaviors. You also left me a disgusting voicemail, which I don't appreciate, and you were rude, loud, obnoxious to my assistant. So let me just start.
I object to all that. It's free speech.
I let you speak, now you let me speak, okay?
Nah, I'll leave. I don't need to hear your nonsense.
Right, okay, that's fine. But in any event, I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks because that man was really disgusting, okay? And as evidenced by the statement that he read at the beginning of the council meeting a few weeks ago, the council and I are proud of our diverse and welcoming nature of this city. A few council meetings ago, as I said, there was a member of the public, this gentleman right here, made statements that can only be categorized as a biased hate speech. Also anti-Semitic, which again, you witnessed here for the second time. So I want to be clear, there's no place in our community for hate speech of any kind, and the council and I denounce this in the strongest possible terms. The council and administration were committed to fostering a city where people of all backgrounds and belief can live free from fear, prejudice, and hate, and this is an example of something that we're not going to tolerate. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other comments? The public portion of the meeting is to allow you, the public, to state your comments directly to the administration and have a voice in the proceedings of your governing body. There will be no cross dialogue during the public portion of the meeting. After you have spoken, any member of the dais authorized to speak on the administration's behalf may address your comments, answer questions, and correct any misleading or erroneous information. If there's anyone in the audience who has a comment to make, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Council President, if you don't mind, I'd like to make a few comments before we begin with the public portion. So at the last council meeting, we heard comments from an individual whose words reached the darkest depths of hatred and anti-Semitism. It's troubling and very sad that any individual would think that this type of poisonous rhetoric would be acceptable anywhere, let alone in a public forum. It is not. If you want to have a conversation about flags, that's one thing. But if the City Council and I will never condone anyone spewing hateful rhetoric. Comments like those are disturbing, problematic, and harmful, and are certainly not consistent with our community values. Thank you.
Council President, if I can, just to follow up on what the mayor said, I often get asked the question why it is that you would allow that kind of comments to be made in a public meeting like this. And, you know, it's been said that the First Amendment is there not to protect you against people who say the things that you agree with. It's to protect the people who say things you don't agree with. So there's only so much we can do in terms of limiting speech, and certainly you can't limit speech based upon its content. Of course, you know, dangerous speech is a different subject, but in this circumstance, the public forum is for the public forum. We're required to have it by law, and you know, it's part of the process. So for those people out there who ask why it is that we can't just put an end to it, that's why there's the First Amendment, and that's why we don't. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you making those comments. And let me then turn back to opening the public portion part of the meeting.
Go ahead. Because he was just talking about me. Sure. I'm going to go first since you were clearly just addressing my speech 2 weeks ago. Good evening. My name is Jeffrey George Abraham Wallstein. I was born in Long Branch and now reside in Tinton Falls. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to this council concerning the Israeli flag display at Pier Village. I'm here tonight to publicly respond to the comments made by Mayor Pallone following my speech, which you can all rewatch for yourself on YouTube. 2 weeks ago, I accused the mayor of using the police department to intimidate me. Mayor Pallone responded by saying, and I quote, "The police department was concerned about your actions and your behaviors." Sir, there was nothing concerning about my actions or behaviors at the August 13th meeting. I spoke to this council politely and professionally and presented nothing but legal arguments. No part of my speech was disrespectful or anti-Semitic. The very next day, I received a phone call from Lieutenant Michael Decker of the Long Branch Police Department, which I recorded. And he claimed he was calling me because he had heard I had a question for the mayor. He said nothing about my speech to the council or my behavior. And I thought it was incredibly weird that the police department was calling me to see if I had a question for the mayor. That explanation made no sense at all. Mayor Pallone then said, "You also left me a disgusting voicemail, which I don't appreciate, and you were rude, loud, and obnoxious to my assistant." Sir, the voicemail I left you came only after the police called me, not before. I was absolutely appalled that you would misuse police resources to try and intimidate me for my protected speech. As for your assistant, she was rude and unprofessional, and instead of doing her job, she condescendingly laughed at me over the phone. Mayor Pallone, you then went on to call me disgusting based on my August 13th speech to the council. But sir, there was nothing disgusting about anything I said to the council on August 13th. It's all documented on video. I was professional and articulate and stuck to making legal arguments which you so cowardly chose to ignore. Mayor Pallone then went on to say regarding the disproportionate number of Israeli flags flying at Pier Village, "I am proud of our diverse and welcoming nature of this city. A few council meetings ago, as I said, he made statements as a member of the public that can only be categorized as biased hate speech, also anti-Semitic. So I want to be clear, there's no place in our community for hate speech of any kind." Sir, first of all, the 6 Israeli flags at Pier Village is the antithesis of diversity. If this was actually about diversity, wouldn't there have to be more than just Israeli flags? There are 7 flagpoles. If this was about diversity, I would think along with an Israeli and an American flag, maybe you would have an Italian flag, a Mexican flag, a Brazilian flag, a Portuguese flag, or maybe even an African flag. That would properly represent the diversity of the city of Long Branch. 6 Israeli flags alongside 1 American flag cannot be classified as diversity. You're treating the public like we're stupid and everybody sees through it. Second of all, nothing I said at the August 13th council meeting was inappropriate or anti-Semitic, as proven by the video record. Third of all, there is no legal definition of hate speech. Hate speech does not exist in this country. This is America, not Canada. There is only protected free speech. It's very concerning to me that you don't understand the laws of this country, specifically the First Amendment. You needed the city attorney to put you in check just a few minutes ago. Lastly, accusing me of being anti-Semitic is comical. I am half Jewish and half Lebanese. I am fully Semitic. My last name is Wallstein, for crying out loud. My family is Jewish. The term anti-Semite has become completely overused. I remember when it was a term used for people who didn't like Jews. Now it's a term used for anybody who the Jews want to silence and discredit. It doesn't work anymore. People can see through it. Mayor Pallone then said, This council and I denounce this in the strongest possible terms. The council and administration are committed to fostering a city where people of all backgrounds and beliefs can live free from fear, prejudice, and hate. And this is an example of something we're not going to tolerate. Sir, you clearly don't believe that. You don't believe that Palestinians, Arabs, people of Middle Eastern descent, or any other people with anti-Zionist beliefs deserve the same freedom from prejudice and hate that you claim to protect the city from. You're a blatant hypocrite. I would also like to elaborate, I want you to elaborate on what you meant by, we will not tolerate. Because as it stands now, I can only take those words as some sort of threat against me for my First Amendment protected speech. So in response to your ignorant and defamatory comments, I'd like to gift everybody on the council.
Whoa. Go back.
I can't approach?
No.
Here are copies of the Constitution with letters of intent to sue Mayor Colon. They're one for each and every one of you, including the city attorney. Please take one. Don't take my threat as an empty threat. It's a real lawsuit. 42 U.S.C. 1983 federal lawsuit will be filed.
Time is up. Thank you. Would you like to?
I'm sorry. I just want to make one comment, and that comment is that I stand by every single thing that I said. And if you remember, sir, 2 weeks ago, what I said was I did not know that the police had called you. Okay? So again, I will not speak to you anymore. Okay? Thank you.
Are you going to get sued?
Okay, sir.
You're going to get sued. And the city
Sir, please stop. Please stop talking now. And let's move forward.